What's good, everybody? It's your boy 313 J Mo here once again to talk. Another Lions game is in the books. The Lions defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it was 34 to 16. Fun fact: 34 is the most points Matt Patricia has ever scored in any Lions game. Very interesting. But I'm gonna get to introducing the panel. We got Detroit Drew in the building. What's good, man?
What's good, Peace, man? Feels good. We got a good NFL week going on, a lot of good games, and a Lions victory, so I can't complain so far.
All right, we got Luke G. Spill review in the building. What up, though?
Hey, salute to y'all, man. I'm glad to be back in the swing of things. Just want to let everybody know, appreciate the pour of prayers and thoughts, man. So appreciate you all. But let's talk some football, people.
And we got Right or Wrong in the building. What up, though?
What's going on, everybody? The Lions got a victory today. It's rare, but we got it today.
I always say with these Lions victories, you got to cherish them all because you don't know where the next one going to come. I literally said that after the Arizona game. I was like, we got to enjoy this win because we don't know when we going to win again. And I'm keeping that same energy today because next week, okay. So we don't know. But I just wanted to start off giving my takeaways, but I think I want to start with this right here. J-Ron Crowers took Will Harris snaps. Thank the Lord. And in the church say amen.
Amen.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. Let's see, we got Mr. Ray in the building, Motor City Thanos in the building, the Great One Mike in the building, Joey Kappa's with us. What up, though? James Holyfield, the general view in the building. You can call me Funk in the building. We got Big Mike and I Am Not the Hacker. Shad, Steve-O. Shout out to everybody in the chat. PD Sports. We got a guest, Chris King, in the building with us. What's good, man?
How's it going? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
man. We
hear
got
you.
a subscriber on today.
I'm trying to find out which one. Sorry.
No, we can hear you, bro.
Trying to find out.
No, yeah, we hear you.
I just got
All
two
right,
mics set up. I'm trying to figure out which one's going on.
I hear that.
All right, man. So I'm gonna just start here. Biggest takeaway from the Lions win, and I'm gonna just kick this off because I feel like it was a lot of things, and we'll talk about that throughout the show. But the main thing that I was watching was defense and commitment to running the football. And I know we all were upset about them throwing the ball 4 straight times to get Stafford that touchdown. But I kind of did say pre-show, Stafford, stop playing and just keep forcing the ball to Hockenson so he can catch the dang ball. And that's what they did. It worked. But that's what they did. But my thing was that the defense looked like they bounced back from the bye week. The Lions always rush 4 down linemen. Even if it was a 3-4 or a different package, we were always rushing 4. I don't know who these defensive linemen we have are, but apparently, because to me, they know names because I ain't seen them all year. I definitely think this is the best defensive game the Lions had, but I'm not overreacting because they were going against Gardner Minshew. I feel like the Jaguars receivers really let him down today. Yeah, the running game wasn't helping, but the receivers wasn't helping either. The O-line wasn't helping. But with the Lions, DeAndre Swift. I said pre-show, this is the game where DeAndre Swift goes off and goes crazy, and the Lions are going to use him. And my thing with Swift is I felt like he's finally comfortable. What the Saints game showed me is he's finally used to the NFL game. I know people think highly of him, but my main takeaways is Matt Patricia stayed out the way. What we say, Luke, just don't coach us to lose the game.
Right.
Just stay out the way.
Just get out the way.
Let the team do what they do. And I mean, I want to cry tears of joy just seeing us run the football that much. DeAndre Swift is the first running back since 1989 to have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in a football game, which is just crazy. Since Barry Sanders, obviously, which is just crazy to me. But all right, now that I got my stuff up, it's a lot of other things to talk about.
Well, listen, really, my apologies, J-Mo. Let us introduce our guest, man. I want to make sure our guest get a proper introduction so he can tell them, who he is, and and I've been trying to get him on for a while. Schedules kept being a little weird and wonky, but let's introduce our guest, man. Talk to the people, Chris. Tell them who you are, man, and what brings you here to talk some Detroit Lions football.
Hey, thank you, man. So basically, I'm Chris King. I run the channel Christopher Christ, the highlights. I make highlights for the Lions and some other teams at times. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. I've been doing some changes to the channel, changing my name, changing everything. I'm gonna start a podcast there soon, eventually with my friends. I'm just out to talk some football finally. And it looks like it's been a good time to join you guys because the Lions actually did a good job playing football today.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And I'm with JGB in the chat. That 27 yards rushing allowed. I thought Ndamukong Suh was playing, bro. But end of the day, Chris. So, what is your biggest takeaways from this Lions win, man?
Let's just say it seems like the defense is actually trying to play defense. We're not sitting back. We're not waiting. We're not giving the quarterback any more time than they're supposed to. We're actually hitting the quarterback. We're actually sending blitzes, and the coverages are a lot tighter than they were before.
Most definitely. Let's see. We got Tony Adams and D-Map Zoom and Motor City Thanos in the building. What's good? Sky Guy, what's good? All right, Detroit Drew, man. What's your biggest takeaways from this Lions win?
I think you guys kind of touched on it. It was the defense really stood out to me. This is the first game that I have seen under Matt Patricia that the opposing quarterback was constantly under pressure. He had no time at all. It was beautiful. I think that Matt Patricia didn't call as many plays defensively. Let our DC take care of that one, and we played fantastic. And again, we did play Jacksonville. I think they're one of a handful of teams that are just worse than us. There's not too many out there, but I think Jacksonville made that cut today. But the guys defensively looked fired up. They looked engaged. They looked locked in. They looked focused. They looked like they had a plan, and they stuck to it and pretty much just held Jacksonville to nothing. At one point in time, I looked up Jacksonville threw the ball 30-plus times, only had 160 yards. That's absolutely beautiful. Coverage was good. We did a great job stopping the run, and offensively, this is what we have to do for Matthew Stafford. Commit to the run. Swift played fantastic. 14 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 8.3 per carry. AP had 15 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. When you got 3 touchdowns from your running back, that just took so much pressure off of Stafford. He just had all day back there. Play action was working. This was what we expect from the Lions week in and week out. Hopefully they can build off of this and continue it to go.
Well, we expected to win this game, so we ain't gonna overreact. We should have went out there and dominated them. But all right, Luke G, what's your biggest takeaways from this win?
Man, listen, I've been sitting up here patiently waiting like 50 Cent for my opportunity to say this. We finally utilized our damn talent on all sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. How long was it going to be? I mean, yeah, it only took 37 games. Only 37 games. But I saw our talent being utilized. And we didn't just utilize them. We stayed with the hot hand. If you was hot, you stayed with it. DeAndre Swift was hot. They stayed with it. When it came time to the defense, people, I did a video talking about John Pennicini. I said that this is a guy who should be getting way more snaps. He's underutilized, and he has shown me in a few snaps that he's about that life. I don't know if y'all was paying attention to John Pennicini, but John Pennicini was blowing up the line scrimmage. I'm like, yo, this is what we missing. Oh, and I don't know if y'all noticed this neither, but Jared Davis, people, to my Jared Davis haters, did y'all happen to notice when he was in, that run was dead in the water, but when he was out, they was just seemingly able to run the ball. I just want y'all to be aware of some of these things, but to utilize our talent in that way, that was my biggest one. And then my honorable mention of a point was the fact that, you know, this was a game that even though we had a lead, I still didn't feel like we had the game won until the clock hit 0. And I know if I felt that, everybody else felt that, you know, especially after that interception from Stafford, like, here we go again with this shit. So to me, those were my biggest takeaway. We got to win. We got to be happy about it. I'm going to let everybody enjoy their win today because, you know, by the time Tuesday hit, I'm going to have a video telling you why you need to look at this a little deeper. It was some things that I was disgusted with as well.
No doubt. Obviously, the Lions are out there doing the thing, but right or wrong, man, what's your biggest takeaways from this Lions win?
So my biggest takeaways from today is that this team just seemed more aggressive. The play calling seemed more aggressive. The defensive play call and the offensive play call were just more aggressive. The players were aggressive. They were hitting hard. They were hitting harder than before. It just felt like this team wanted it more. It just felt like this team was ready to go out and get it by any means necessary. And I like that. I like that. I felt like we took more deep shots to Kenny Galladay. I feel like, we blitzed a lot more. We put the quarterback under pressure. You saw DeAndre Swift truck a guy that was 3 inches and 15 to 20 pounds heavier than him. Like, I mean, it felt like this team wanted it so much more than the Jaguars, and they were willing to be aggressive and go take some kill shots.
Yeah, so Luke, I know you don't watch the broadcast, but the broadcast were talking about how the Lions were completely the more physical team in all three phases. And they were like, this is the most physical I've seen the Lions all year. And I agree. Like, I'm telling you, this looked like one of them old school Jim Schwartz, Javed Best type teams.
Thank you.
The team is just physical and running the ball down your throat. Stafford is making sure we don't lose the game, just game managing. And the defense plays well enough to hold them down because, when Swift did that, I'm like, oh, so Swift, you've been spending time with Marvin Jones, huh? Like when he hit that dude, I'm like, bro, that's not Adrian Peterson doing that. But all right, guys, we're gonna move on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. But the one thing before we move on that upset me the most about this game, Lions should have scored 50 today. And why didn't we score 50 today? Penalties. Seriously. Every time we got a turnover, penalties. But all right, let's move on to the next question. What's your thoughts on DeAndre Swift's big day and the way the running backs were used? Because we did it. Adrian Peterson came out, Swift came out, and then Kerryon came out a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna start with you, Chris.
All right, so the first thing I noticed was we waited to put him in the game, basically. It was not until like the second quarter he started popping off. It was starting with Adrian Peterson. Thing is when he got on fire, we didn't stop. We didn't take any carries away from Swift. He kept going. We kept giving him the ball. And he was just power running too. It wasn't like the O-line was doing a great job. They were, but it wasn't just them. Swift was doing half the work as well. It was a good 50-50 work with the O-line and Swift. He was following his blocks. He made some beautiful cuts. And like you just said, he trucked a bitch over. He was going insane. It was nice to see Kerryon out there too.
And I think every Lions fan, we felt a different place in our heart when we saw the Lions get a ball to Swift 3 times on the goal line. I'm like, they gonna give him the ball again? I'm like, wow. I ain't never ever seen that before. But all right, Drew, what's your thoughts on DeAndre big day and the way that we use our entire running back court?
I loved it. He, after week 1, where he had the drop TD, I was going to be a little bit concerned for his development, but he's shaking that thing off, and that's way in the past. To date, he probably had his best career game by far, not even close, and I think he could only get better from here. But I think that a lot of the credit goes to Adrian Peterson for how well he's been playing for us this year. So I think Jacksonville was really looking forward to trying to stop AP. Then when you put a smaller back out there like Swift, who's faster, more explosive, they just didn't have an answer for it. So when he got hot, Bevel did a great job of kept feeding him the rock, and I'm sure Stafford said, keep feeding this guy, and he'll take us to victory. And sure enough, man, he made some great cuts. He did a great job of finding the open hole and just taking off, man. There was times I thought he could have had a couple more touchdowns. He just got his legs wrapped up. So I think that this is a glimpse of him being our running back of the future. I just don't know if he's ever going to be the guy who's going to be the primary running back. He's always going to split carries, but I like this kid. I think he's got a bright future, and this was his breakout game for sure.
I do think he can be our starting running back because to me, there's no difference between him and guys like Kamara and McCaffrey. Of course, they're better. They're the same type of backs. People who are versatile. But I did want to question – this is a question to the entire panel. Do any of you guys think Swift was supposed to score a touchdown on that long run?
No. I don't think he's going to beat that safety, but I think he could have gotten more yards for sure.
No, listen. This is listen. I make a lot of videos. At the same time, I don't make videos at all. I made a video comparing him to Frank Gore, and I had everybody and their mama cuss me out. Frank Gore, of all the people you come up with, Frank Gore. And I said, yes, based on their running styles and what I've seen, he looks like Frank Gore. Oh, he can take it to the house. No, he can't. And today, I'm thinking to myself, like, how you not score on that 54-yard run? Do you have one dude to beat? You got to make dog miss. You got to make him miss. He didn't even try to cut back with nothing.
He needs to take classes with Danny Amendola, because I swear, Amendola will make a dude. He made the first dude miss like 70% of the time, and he's an old wide receiver.
Yeah, but it just boils down to the fact of this. Like, listen, you're going to like I said, he's one.
Go ahead and answer the question too.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like yeah. To me, he's gonna have to, in those situations. I bet you when he get done with that locker room, his dad gonna call him and be like, "You gotta beat that dude." Like, his dad ain't finna let that fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, in terms of the question, how they used him today, I thought, okay, good. They rolled the hot hand. Chris touched on this, and talked about this where they rolled the hot hand and they stayed with it. I was really expecting them to stick to this dumb snap count crap. They went completely away from it. And I was so happy that they did, because in my opinion, getting away from that snap count allowed for your players to get into a rhythm. And that was the biggest thing for me. When they ran the ball, they allowed for them to get a rhythm. When they changed it up, Kerryon got a chance to break off a run, because guess what? They've been smashing their head against Swift. They've been smashing their head against AP. Now you throw in Kerryon, it's like, bro, y'all just keep letting them out. And that's what they should have been doing this entire time. It only took 37 games, but I guess better late than never. Better late than never.
I don't know if you can say better late than never when it takes you 2 years, but I get. But I will say one thing about the Lions. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season, but I think they found themselves a little bit. They had to look in the mirror. All right, right or wrong, what are your thoughts on Swift's big day, and because he was the best player on the field today, in my opinion, at least on offense, and the way the running backs were used as a whole?
You know what's funny is it's almost like we know what we're talking about when we say run the ball more. It's almost like we know what we're talking about when we say give DeAndre Swift the ball. Like, I mean, DeAndre Swift wanted it more than anybody out on that field. DeAndre Swift wanted to show. He wanted to make up for maybe a game that he lost the Lions early in the season. He wanted to make up for some lost time. And DeAndre Swift was the most dominant player on the field today. I think he needs more touches. I said it. I've heard a bunch of other people say it. I mean, he needs more touches. He averages, before this game, he averaged 6 yards a touch. In this game, he averaged 8.3 yards a carry. Like, I mean, you got to give him the ball if he's going to produce for you. So I think it's only going to continue. I think he's only going to grow and develop and get better from here.
Yeah, he literally had the best game by a Lions running back since Barry Sanders. So high expectations for a guy drafted that high. But all right, did I get everybody on that question?
Yeah, I want to make sure we do this again. Chris, plug your channel again, because like I said, you a subscriber. I know I'm subscribed to you. And so I want to make sure that we get you plugged in so people can know where they can come and subscribe and watch the work that you do. I think I watched like 3 highlight videos, and I took them like 1,000 messages like, hey, you free, you free. Like, hey, I need to talk to you. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
so plug your stuff, man.
So the channel was originally called Christopher Christ. I literally just changed the name the other day because me and my friends are changing the channel up. We're going to try and post more, do more with it. It's called K2 Productions. Just going to be working hard on it. So, yep, the channel is called K2 Productions. We'll probably start an Instagram account soon and maybe even a Twitter. But, yep, just K2 Productions. And if you look up Christopher Christ, it should be there as well.
Make sure you guys go out there and subscribe to his channel. We support all Lions YouTubers, whether they all sports YouTubers, whether they putting up highlights or making actual videos. Make sure you guys in the chat like the video if you haven't already. All right, now let's move on to the next topic. What are you guys' thoughts on the Lions defense changing to mainly a 4-3 type of game plan for this game? And not only did they change to a 4-3 type of game plan, it seems, they executed it greatly. Like I said, this looked like I thought Sue was on the team. And maybe Penasini is that guy. Maybe we done it because I've always said.
Don't get me started.
But look, I've always said the Lions, some teams can just do things right. And the Lions have always been able, no matter how bad the team is, to always find these D linemen that are not supposed to be what they are, and they turn out being good. Like I've seen us do it regardless of winning or losing. That's one thing that they do right. And Penasini is regardless of regime, Penasini is one of those gems. The dude is great. Like, so I love it. And we saw Deshaun Hand out there starting for once. But okay, we're gonna go to you, Detroit Drew. What is your thoughts about them mainly changing to a 4-3 type of game plan?
I love it. I'm a way bigger fan of the 4-3 than the 3-4. I just like the style of it better. One of the things for me saying so is it just seems like a Detroit culture to run a 4-3. You have to be more aggressive, but I think really our personnel fits better with the 4-3 anyway. Some of our linebackers, just aren't in the right positions, like whether it's coaching or the players itself. I think with the 4-3, it just fits our personnel better. I did not like the switch when Patricia came in here to run a 3-4, but he always kind of runs that hybrid where he switches it up anyway. But it's nice to see that we're sticking with the 4-3 more than the 3-4 because it worked so well. We limited it to just a handful of rushing yards. They were constantly under pressure, even though we only had 1 sack. We had 3 turnovers on the game, but I think they recovered one of the fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what I like to see is, under Swartz, under Caldwell, we got a lot of turnovers under the 4-3. When Patricia got here, those numbers dropped significantly. And since we started doing this more, we've got a lot more interceptions. And today we caused a couple fumbles. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Hopefully they stick with it. We'll have a lot of success if we continue to run the 4-3.
We got Mr. Jim Bordeaux Lions on the prowl in the building with us. What's good, man?
Hey, what's up? Finally got a Lions victory, but that means we keep Patricia. So it's a good and bad thing.
hey, we gonna get into it later, man.
I knew Jim was coming with it. I knew Jim was coming with it. I knew he was coming with it.
I have to say, this week was my birthday, and I was hoping for a good win today. And today was Jim's daughter's birthday. I told y'all, Libra omens, man. Libra omen game. Y'all want the Lions to win? Libra omen game. Let's go. We Libras out here with the like. I bet you all y'all Scorpios take L, but hopefully not. But I just had to. Hopefully not. But Jim, what's your thoughts on the defense changing to, like, it wasn't necessarily a 4-3, but it was a 4-3 type of game plan. It was always 4 people rushing.
It was 3 years too late. 2.5 years too late. But no, that's what we have for a personnel, man. I mean, I don't understand why they haven't run a 4-3 hybrid type, whatever they're running. But I mean, you've got to get pressure on the quarterback, and 3 wasn't doing it. It just wasn't happening. Your blitz wasn't getting there quick enough, and I think there were a lot of players played a little better in this scheme, the way this scheme was today.
Drew just said it. Our personnel fits 4-3 a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. What's your thoughts on this?
Listen, first of all, I want to give out 2 quick fun facts. All right, fun fact of the day today: the Detroit Lions had a 100-yard rusher for the first time since October of 2019. Right, and what happens? The Lions get another win. Another win is notched under Matthew Stafford's belt. Outside of that interception, that was a horrible pass. He wasn't asked to win the game at the end. He managed the game, and it worked out, and they won convincingly, which give him more wins than losses when he have a 100-yard rusher. That's the first fun fact. The second fun fact is this. It's amazing what happened when you rush more than 3 freaking people on a damn defense. It's amazing. This game right here, I literally just kept watching because I wanted to see. They rushed 4 to 5 people more in this game than they have in all of the other 36 games they've played. I literally watched them in this game dial up more blitzes and play to their players' strengths more than in this game than they have against anybody else. Now, here's my thoughts about this defense. It wasn't a full 4-3, but it was a full-out 4-man rush at all times, and that truly helped because now you couldn't just double down on each one of those people. They limit the amount of man coverage called in this game. I have not seen the total stat line for it, but I'm almost sure they ran more zone this game than they did man. And I think it played to their strengths real good. And also, I can't say it enough, man. John Penny is just like a stopper in a tub, bro. He clogging up stuff. So to me, to see those adjustments, when you hear Matt Patricia a few days before saying that they're going to dumb back or scale back some of the defense, and you find out that they were calling at least 121 different packages a game, I guarantee you, 121 different defensive packages, which I'm telling you, when you see that, you realize that no wonder they're not getting in rhythm.
This is a random question that has no merit at all. Do you think Bill Belichick has 121 packages on his defense?
No. And it's funny because
that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say.
You know, it's one of them things where with Bill Belichick, he keeps it simple enough to play to his players' strengths. And today was what happened. You saw a lot of players playing to their strength. Like I saw a lot of pressure on the quarterback coming from the DNs. There's a few times they dropped Trey Flowers in the coverage, and one of them ended up being a good hit on the receiver between him and Okudah. But overall, being able to rush for, scale back your stuff to get them in rhythm and play to their strengths was perfect. And I thought that they did a good job of doing that against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And they also discovered Jared Davis off the bench. He'd been missing.
Listen.
Yeah,
listen. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk about that. We got Jared Davis haters out here. I keep trying to tell people that he's underutilized and not playing to his strength.
Lions fans might not like it, but second half, Jamie Collins kind of disappeared, and I saw Jared Davis on the field making plays. But we ain't gonna go there. Just use your players to their strengths at the end of the day. So, Chris, man, what's your thoughts on the Lions defense changing to mainly a 4-3 type of game plan?
All right, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to send you back to time. So think about maybe 7 years ago. Ziggy Ansah, Cliff Averill, and Ndamukong Suh. What did they run? A 4-3. How many turnovers did that defense have, between that 2011 and 2014, span? We were off on defense. We ran 4-3. The last 2 years has been awful. But today we ran more 4-3, and we're actually getting pressure. The quarterback's not sitting there for 30 seconds fighting a receiver. And doing zone more is better because I feel like if you're man-to-man all the time, you become super predictable. So doing more zone and running more 4-3 is definitely the way the Lions have to go from here on out. Especially if Patricia wants to keep his job.
Let me add to that. It's funny you bring up that team with them. If you go through and you kind of look at that team, they had a lot of things in terms of that D line that's similar to this. You had the late round stud who wasn't getting a lot of playing time, but when they finally decided to give it to him and Cliff Averill, they're like, oh, he can play. The same thing with John Penny, late round guy who I believe was a stud. You gave him more playing time. Oh, he can play. They had the guy with the high motor and Kyle Vanderbosch. Go over to Trey Flowers, the guy with the high motor. like you look at it, then you had a Ndamukong Suh, the guy that you had to at least put 2 on to get him out the way. And then I'm not saying that Danny Shelton is in Ndamukong Suh, but they definitely double teamed Danny Shelton to try to get him out the way. And then you had your rotating guys in who could bring something like Fairley and stuff like that with Deshaun Hand. So you see these different things. Then the biggest part, and I'm gonna go on the book and say this right now, Stephen Tulloch and Jared Davis are the same damn players. They're the same players. They're the same players. So if you hate Jared Davis, you gotta hate Stephen Tulloch because they're the same players. You ain't gonna tell me Stephen Tulloch was this amazing player in coverage. No, you know what I'm saying. He had to get into his groove on that, and a lot of that came from getting pressure. So I think
Stephen Tulloch was an enforcer, bro. Like you didn't want to get hit by that man. So, and we see that's what Jared. I feel like Jared Davis was intimidating that offense a little bit with the way he was hitting them dudes.
Let me just say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Stephen Tulloch was a leader. Jared Davis is one of our leaders. So why the hell has our leader been on the sideline? And like, if you're on the defense and you're looking for your leader and he's on the sideline, you're not gonna have that much motivation. When Jared Davis is out there, he puts everything on the line, just like Stephen Tulloch did back in the day.
Matt Patricia said that the reason or the issue that he had with Jared Davis is that he wasn't patient enough. He's too quick to get to his point, and he wanted him to slow down a little bit and be more patient. And I'm thinking, as a guy who played linebacker, F that. What I saw is what I saw. I did my job. Everybody else get on board or get out my way. Like you don't tell Ray Lewis, scale back what you're doing. Don't hit him so hard. You don't tell him that. You let your leaders and your players play. and you get results. And the way he take on blockers and fill gaps, those other guys got to fill them. And so to me, it really worked out in a way that, to me, showed that they can make adjustments. It just took 37 games to see it.
Okay, no, I just stop saying the 37 game. Just stop saying it.
Listen, perspective is everything.
Perspective is everything. How many
Bro.
games I have to sit there
Right.
and be in pain for,
But
man.
all right, before I get to you, Drew, Ryder, what's your thoughts about this 4-3 type of game plan that the Lions ran today?
I mean, I agree with pretty much everybody else. I think the 4-3 is a little bit more effective for what this Lions team is trying to do. What the skill set that these players have, but I truly don't care if it's a 4-3. I don't care if it's a 3-4. If the Lions are getting pressure, I'm happy. If they're blitzing, I'm happy. Like, that's what they did today. And it wasn't strictly a 4-3 like you guys are saying, but at the end of the day, they did what they had to do to get pressure, and that pressure helped win them the football game. So, I mean,
well, let me tell you this: we ain't getting pressure with 3, so you better like the 4-3.
well, yeah.
Unless the 3-4, as long as we can get pressure. Look, we don't got the Dominican Sue and Reggie White and LT out there, bro. Like,
Hey, I'm just saying, as long as we're getting pressure, I'm happy. I'm a happy Lions fan. So.
All right, so we're gonna go to this question. I'm gonna start with Drew. He has to leave. Thank you for stopping by, man. Is Amani the best cornerback on this team? Like I said, he would be. But thoughts on him and thoughts on Okudah learning with a trial by fire, because he's getting torched out there. But I feel a different way. I feel a different way, man. I feel he got to take his lumps. But Drew, man, what's your thoughts on this?
Even though Okudah got a couple of plays he got torched on, I really think that the secondary played well, and Obrien, man, he's becoming. I really think he's becoming our number one option to put on the best receivers out there. But I think a lot of it just depends on the rest of the fellas in that secondary getting healthy and coming back out there. But the young fellas are getting a lot of good reps, and it's not like Jacksonville has that many weapons. To be honest with you, there's a reason they only have one win.
Nah, they got a lot of weapons.
Not what we're accustomed to. I'm not saying they're garbage, but
they didn't show up today.
All right, but look at our division though. You have to go against Robinson, Adams, and Thielen. Those are some of the top tier receivers in the game, middle tier to above tier. And then we have to go against DeAndre Hopkins already this year, and he played really well against us. But these young guys are playing against some of the best competition out there in Jacksonville. They don't have those level guys out there. And I don't believe the Minshew hype. I think he's overrated. People just like him because he's got a porn stash and a mullet, which
hey,
I'm not hating the porn stash. I'm not hating the mullet. But
team is trash.
They're garbage. They're butt cheeks. Not good butt cheeks either.
Like Minshew was solid, dog. His team, like you saw that O-line, he was looking like Stafford, bro. Like no time.
Listen,
running game don't exist.
Exactly.
Receivers
Night
don't
and day.
exist. Receivers don't exist. So no, Minshew can throw that football. Coming into this game, which is why I was scared, he's had 300 yards in every game and has 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It's only 3 other quarterbacks that's doing that, so we shut him down today.
But part of the reason we look so good though is because we got pass rush. You can only cover people for so long before they get separation from you. When our D line, our linebackers were getting after him, that gave our secondary time to cover people, get in their zones, stay with their man, and put the clamps on them. It's something that we have not seen fully. It's either been our D line's been playing really well, but our secondary is getting torched, or our secondary is playing really well, but our D line's giving them all the time in the world. Today was the first time I can actually say that all assets of our defense were on one page and performed really well. And when that happens, your secondary, your linebackers, your D line, they all had great games today. So it was a good team win. And the better we play like this, the more it's going to carry over, the more we can learn from it and build chemistry off of it.
Mm-hmm. Luke, how many
you got final thoughts, man?
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe if you're new, like the video. Go check out this guy's podcast, man. I know when Luke says something's good, it's fire because Luke knows his football, that's for sure. So make sure you guys go check out the guy. You can go ahead and post your link if you have it there in the chat so people can go hit that link and go subscribe to you. Go subscribe to all the DSA members. Their link should be in the description. And that's all I got for you guys today. Good team win. Hopefully we can beat the Falcons, but I won't hold my breath for that.
All right. I do like this comment. Carl Campbell says we lose next week and we're gonna lose the next 3. Well, if we're gonna lose the next 3 after losing next week, we should have just lost today. But and I mean, hey, that could be very possible. It's the Lions now. But okay, Jim, what's your thoughts on is Amani our best cornerback? And
Right now, yeah.
Okudah being tested with trial by fire.
Well, you know what? Trufant's out, so you got to have somebody in there. Amani's the number 3 overall pick, man. He needs to step up. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't pick somebody 3rd overall and have them start and look terrible all the time. That's just my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, but Amani by far right now is our best corner.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this, Chris?
I think the same thing, but I think we just have to give Okudah time, especially for rookie cornerbacks. It takes a while for them to learn how to deal with receivers. And like the earlier weeks, he was going against like the best receivers. Today, there was no excuse for him to get beat that much, but I still saw him do some pretty good plays, and you can see he puts everything on the line. I like how he tackles people too. He wraps them up when he can, but he does need to get better on man-to-man coverage for sure.
No, man, he got that. See, I could take somebody getting beat if it's like a Kenny Galladay. He's 6'4", he's just taller than you. But when he got beat on that first play, I'm like, bro, you just let him cook you, with a double move like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that I don't like him getting cooked, but I like using him trial by fire because at the end of the day, no matter what happens with this regime, Okudah is going to be here, and we need him to be some type of staple. We want him to play well every time he's out on the field. Well, but if he doesn't, he's still getting experience. And one thing about Okudah, it seems like he plays better throughout the game. And I remember coming into college, they were talking about his brain, how, he see a play once, he knows what's happening. So I feel like that's happening a little bit throughout the game. He gets a little bit better. But Amani is the best cornerback on this team. I told people he would be our starting corner. I told people he was a stud. So why the hell did we draft Okudah? Amani still has a lot to learn because he got beat a couple times, but he, that great play he made to bail himself out. But I like Okudah learning trial by fire. We went through the same thing with Slay, and he's better than Slay as a rookie. So we'll see what happens with that. What's your thoughts on this, Luke?
I'm not ready to say he's our best corner. I think circumstance make a person look like they're the best corner, but I'm not ready to say he's the best corner. I've seen games where I'm like, what is he doing? But when you're comparing him to the rest of the people, it's like, who do you really have to compare him to? A rookie cornerback? That's not fair. A guy who's been hurt for most part of Desmond Trufant? That's not fair. Well, what's the guy's name? Roberts? Is he better than Roberts? I mean, is that really a serious comparison? No. So to me, to say if he our best cornerback, if it is, it's by default. And to me, I want to see more in his thing. Did he make some damn good plays today? Absolutely. Did Okudah have some rough starts? Yeah. But it's the same stuff that I pointed out in my video that said he's not worth a top 10 pick. And I took heat on that one when I said, look, he can't cover slant or end routes. Yes, he can. No, he can't. He can't do it. He doesn't always get handsy at the line of scrimmage, which I would love for him to do. Beat him up at the line of scrimmage. Redirect them. You dictate where they go. He giving up these free releases and these weak double moves. They don't even be like the best double moves. They be like the weakest, trashiest.
No, that double move early in the game. I'm literally like Okudah, like WTF. How you gonna let him do that to you?
It wasn't even like convincing. It wasn't even convincing. like I don't even understand. So to me, this is one of those things where you have to just look at it and say, yeah, if he our best corner, if he is, it's by default. There's nobody to compare him to. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody to compare him to. And so that's where the problem come in. And for me, before I can say he's the best we got. Okudah, in my opinion, yeah, he's still learning. But again, he's going to learn. But again, that's why you don't take cornerbacks in the top 5. You don't do this. And if you do, they need to come in and be like Charles Woodson and some of these other cornerbacks who came in and played immediately.
Springs had didn't he have 7 INTs his rookie season or something crazy like that? And he was drafted 3rd overall?
No.
He had something. He did. He had a really good rookie season.
I was a Sean Springs fan. I don't remember him having no 6 or 7 interceptions in his rookie season.
He
No,
had
and
better a
plus,
lot of passes defended. It was something crazy.
but plus, I know that the difference between Sean Springs and some of the other cornerbacks took it in the top 5. They went to defenses with defensive lines and front sevens. Like that's a difference. You brought it to a team where you thought man coverage was going to be life. Like you know how you get those ball is life guys. Ball is life. He was like man coverage is life. And he had a rough start. Especially in this season. The introduction he got in this season to Devontae Adams and so forth and so on, it wasn't pretty. And so to me, to kind of put it in perspective, DJ Chalk was targeted 14 times. He only caught 7 passes. Like these guys were not catching the ball. So yeah, it was looking a certain way.
Yeah, he had 7 INTs his second year.
So I knew it wasn't his first.
Yeah, no, I just knew he had 7 INTs early on.
Yeah, but if you go through and look at that second year and look at what they did in the offseason, they bolstered that front 7 even more. So that's what I'm saying. It's just those little things like that makes a huge difference. That's all I'm saying. But to me, both those guys are still in the process of learning. I think Amani is definitely learning. He's coming into his own. Okudah will come into his own, but Okudah has been playing behind good front 7s his college career. And now he's on a team where he has to actually be the guy to shut him out. He got some work to do.
All right, Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Amani is absolutely our best cornerback, and I don't care if it's by default. He's still a great cornerback. I mean, he almost had an interception against the Saints. He almost drilled that in. He almost had an interception today. He caught it out of bounds. Like, he's making plays. Amani is a fantastic cornerback. Does he have some stuff to work on? Yeah, but everybody does. I mean, nobody's perfect in the NFL. Amani is maybe not a lockdown cornerback, but he is a really, really good one. And as far as Okudah's trial by fire, I mean, at this point in this season, what else are you going to do? Who else are you going to put out there other than Okudah? Darrell Roberts on the boundary? Are you going to put out Tony McRae on the boundary? No. Like, I mean, it's not like you have anybody else to put out there. So why not let the rookie go out, gain some experience, and, learn for next year, learn for, the future, and let him develop and grow.
No doubt. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. If you haven't already, we got a guest on, Mr. Chris King. Plug your channel again, man. What's your channel?
Christopher Christ, just changed it to K2 Productions. We're adding more stuff to the channel. We're going to change it up. And, yeah, should be a fun ride. Seeing how it turns out.
This is my next question, and it has something to do with Dolo Dynamite's question. Why do the Lions only win when Matt Patricia is about to get fired? Because he clearly, all the reports were out, and he knew it. They lost to the Jags. He was hit the road, Jack, and don't like it was a wrap. But the Lions, just like they did when they were 0-2 versus Arizona, they wanted to step up and win this football game. And I'm gonna start with you, Jim.
You know what? I don't know. I think we should have this mandate every game. If the Lions lose, he gets fired after every game. Maybe we go off and win a few. I don't know. But it does show me that the team might want to be playing for him. Other than that, I don't know. But it does look like this team wants to play for Patricia, even though a lot of the reports say that people are frustrated with him. But every time, like you said, every single time it comes to Patricia or a win, this team steps up. And I don't know that it was the coaching. There was a lot of heavy hitting going on by that defense. They looked intense. They looked different. The offensive line, they're juggling people in and out for dehydration and stuff. And even that was working. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that, Luke?
I don't buy this belief that they only win when Patricia's job's on the line. His job been on the line since the first season. This ain't. They should have been winning a whole lot. Then if that's the goddamn case, I'm not buying this whole idea that they only win when his job is on the line. We beat the freaking Cardinals, who lost to the damn Panthers, who then turned around and we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like it's not like I can see if we went out there and just beat 2 really good teams. We didn't do that. We know we didn't do that. We're not going to do that. The difference that you're seeing in these games and with these 2 wins versus the losses is the willingness to make the adjustments needed to play to your player's strengths. if you go through each one of these games, you're going to find something that was a signature change that made a difference. Against the Arizona Cardinals, it was playing more freaking zone than man. Who knew, right? Like, this is crazy. Then you go to Jacksonville, it was actually rushing 4 all the time, blitzing more. Who knew? Like, this is stuff that we've been asking for as fans that he finally does in 2 games. But he don't do it against the good teams. He's doing it against these other teams, these trash box teams. Like, that's what he's doing. You go through look at the Jacksonville game. We've been asking Jacksonville in Arizona. We asked, run the ball. What do they do in those games? They ran the ball. They come out and get the Saints. What do? Don't run the ball. No, I don't buy that that's what it is. To me, the mandate stands as still. I don't care if he makes the playoff. I think they should still fire him. This is the reality of it. And the truth is, a lot of people, that's going to be the storyline. If you watch the post game afterwards, each one of the commentators had a hard time trying to praise the Lions for winning this game because they're like, y'all got to get away from Matt Patricia. I watched a few minutes of the pregame just to see if Terry was going to say something about Matt Patricia again because he's been my hero.
He did in the post game.
Did he? See, that's what I'm saying. Yep. He's been my hero. He's been a full throttle, get this guy out of town hero for me. And to me, I'm not buying this idea that it's all about his job being on the line. I'm buying it as this stands. We beat 2 teams. One team is probably not as good as we thought because they can't even figure out how to use their 8th overall pick in Isaiah Simmons, and they got more injuries than I think most of these teams have, and they still don't know how to use them. That's on Vance Joseph. That falls on Cliff Kingsbury. Detroit, we beat Jacksonville, a team that fire sailed the entire damn squad in a matter of months. Like, there's nothing to look forward to. Then we mess around and go and play the Falcons, and we'll see how that turn out. But overall, I don't believe it's a matter of his job in the line as much as it is that they've made certain significant changes that was needed to be made a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know about that because after we lost that last game, what's his name? I think it was Harmon. He said the players got to play better, and I think that's what happened. I mean, we could talk all we want, but gap control is the thing that the Lions haven't been able to do. And
but the players haven't played better though. Like if you really look at this game,
the players definitely played better.
If you look at this game, they really did not play better. They were still missing tackles after a freaking bye week. They were still out of position on a number of plays, but again, the receivers.
I think the players definitely played better today.
Okay, well, listen,
especially compared to last week. Oh, good Lord.
I'm gonna split you both up. I think they didn't play better, but I think they played smarter. They didn't take any gigantic risk. We didn't make any stupid decisions. Stafford had that one pick, but there was no stupid decisions. Special teams did good. Defense played safe. Offense played safe.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like to me when I hear the word they played better, that means I see a significant jump in how they played, and I did not see that.
I don't know. I didn't. Jacksonville only scored 16 points, so they definitely.
It's Jacksonville.
Jacksonville scored. Okay, Jacksonville scored 30 points on the Titans. They're a much better defense. Like I said, Gardner Minshew is, like I said, he's at 300 yards in all of his game. Like, he's been carving up better defenses. So
yeah, but that's okay. Listen, that's okay. Listen, that's different. That's totally different than what we're talking about here. If we got to put stuff in perspective, he targeted DJ Chalk 14 times. Chalk only caught 7. He targeted Keenan Cole 9 times. He caught 6. He tried to target Chris Thompson, and I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name, some junior. He targeted them 7 times. They each only got 3 passes out of those 7 attempts. So there was a lot of drop passes, a lot of miscues and stuff like that going on. Yeah, they couldn't run the ball.
His receivers let him down today. That's what I definitely thought that. I
mean, but that's what I'm saying. So it's not like we did something crazy out there.
No, they let him down because of us. I mean, they only. We can have this You can't tell me the defense didn't play better when the team scored 16 points. The last team scored 35, regardless of the teams.
Listen, all I'm pointing out to you is this. If you look at today's defense and we'll look at the other weeks, there was no difference. There was still tons of missed tackles. There There were still tons of penalties. There were still tons of miscues, and the other team was just that bad. It's
We
just the
saw
reality.
most pressure this week out of all the last 4 weeks put to combine. Like the players definitely showed up today.
But that's scheme fit. That scheme changes.
It's not just the scheme. They made plays. At the
Okay,
end of the
listen.
day, the players can be put in a position. I mean, they were running a 4-3 versus the Saints and got chopped up. So
this why I love J-Mo.
Tell me
J-Mo
Swift
always
didn't have a
give me.
good game. Are you telling me
J-Mo
Swift did not have a good game?
you said what?
Listen. Swift did have a good game, but their best defensive player wasn't even on the field. Like I don't understand this. They had so many people out that it was like we really should not have lost that game. There's just no way. Like
I mean, nobody's talking about us losing the game though. Like
no, what I'm saying is this: we're not talking about us losing the game. What I'm talking about is this: when you look at games early in the season, especially in a season where you don't have an off season, you don't really have a full off season program, you're going to see some things different. So yeah, when they go out and they beat the Colts, they go out and put 30-something points up against the Tennessee Titans, right? They go out and beat the lose to the Dolphins. You see these things where it's like, okay, cool, like yeah, they putting up points. They took Cincinnati to the brink. But the bottom line
I don't really know what you alluding to. We're not talking about Jacksonville. We're talking about Detroit's defense playing better.
But that's what I'm trying to point out to you. You gotta be able to hear it before you can jump in. Just follow me. I'm gonna take you down this road and get you to the date. Just stay with me. We're talking about Jacksonville. So Detroit, the idea is Detroit played better. I'm arguing that Jacksonville was just that bad. They were that bad. Like we're not gonna sit here and act like Detroit just went in here and went to work against Baltimore Ravens. We ain't finna do this.
Well, I mean, you can feel that way, but as bad as Jacksonville is, our defense still played better. Like that was the best game from them all year. I don't really think that's debatable. But Rodgers throwing pick sixes, bro. Stop messing up my picking league. All right, man. We gonna move on to the next question. Just a simple question because I feel like the play calling has been terrible on both sides of the ball so far, and I want to know what's your thoughts on the offensive and defensive play calling because we saw a lot of things. One main thing that I noticed from the offense is once they settled in, they started throwing in wrinkles. Like you didn't see Marvin Hall or Jamal Agnew in the first half at all. But once the Lions knew that they got him off balance a bit, sprinkle in some Marvin Hall, sprinkle in Jamal Agnew for some positive gains, get you right back off balance and start running the football. I thought the game plan and how they use the weapons was good. I don't know why. It's like if a team is the best team in the world in NFL history at covering tight ends, TJ Hawkinson kills them. But if they're the worst, he just can't get. I don't understand how these teams that can't cover tight ends, how we are not exploiting this. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Jim, what's your thoughts on the offensive and defensive play call?
Well, it helps when you're playing against a terrible defense. That's the first thing I got to say, because some things wouldn't work against a better defense. But I like how we were running the ball. I liked how we mixed in different running backs. We even had a challenge on the offensive line, so we ran different stuff to play to our strengths a little more than we usually do. I still don't like the fact that we didn't target Hawkinson enough, I thought, in this game. I know we have a lot of weapons, and like I said I don't remember when, but I said I think we have too many weapons because we can't get the ball to everybody, it seems like. But I thought overall it was a really good game plan, but you're playing Jacksonville, so how tough can that be?
Yeah, I see people in the chat. Y'all gotta chill out. Talking about us being happy that we won. A lot of us thought we were winning today. We should dominate this team. They did that. Why are we upset? All the reason we're upset is because we want Patricia fired. But regardless, we should have went out and dominated them just like we did. So I don't understand. They did what we expected them to do. Like, I mean, I thought they should win this game, but I can't be surprised if we lost. But in it, you got to go out and beat the bad teams. We definitely got to do work next week, but I'm not going to be mad about them running the ball like, what was it, 27 times? Like 30 times? Like, I'm never going to be upset about that. But, okay, right or wrong, what's your thoughts on the offensive and defensive play call?
I mean, I thought it was a lot better today. Just so you know, J-Mo, they ran the ball 39 times today.
39 times? Good
Compared to 31 passes.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Well,
Finally.
just so you have the number.
Okay.
But I liked it. I thought the play calling was much better than we saw in previous weeks. I mentioned in one of my videos that I didn't think that the Lions were being aggressive enough downfield. They weren't giving Stafford the opportunity to take shots. And I felt like he took some shots to Kenny Galladay today that were just true, like 50-50 balls, go get it. I'm going to trust you to go up and do your job. And I felt like they had a couple of those today. Obviously, on the defensive side, they blitzed a lot more. They had constant pressure on Gardner Minshew, which was huge. There's the one play that comes to mind where the Lions blitzed and then Minshew had an overthrow to, I believe it was DJ Chark, maybe not, but the wide receiver won on the route in the end zone and Minshew overthrew him because we had pressure.
Oh, you talking about when Tavai made his only play of the game to pressure Minshew and he overthrew Chart when the other dude was open?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. It was early in the game, but Minshew
Yeah.
overthrew the dude in the end zone, and it would have been a touchdown if we didn't. But I just felt like it was so much more aggressive. It was so much more just willing to, try to get big plays, and I liked it. I didn't have a whole lot of problem with any of the play calls except for the throwing 4 times on the goal line. I thought that was, kind of stupid. I wanted Stafford to get a touchdown too, but at that point, you got to run the ball. You got to trust your running back, especially with DeAndre Swift having the day that he's had. I like the play calling. I thought it was better in this game, but it was also, I thought it was good in Arizona, and they reverted back to not so good the next week. So we'll have to see how they do next week. But for the play calling against Jacksonville, I thought it was much better.
Make sure you guys in the chat like the video. We got 52 people in the chat. The 4 passes. I talked about this earlier. Oh, we all hated it 100%. I wanted to throw up.
I love it.
My thing is when you're Stafford and you get 4 chances to throw to TJ Hawkinson, you better score. And if he didn't score, I would have been extremely hard on him. Yes, he shouldn't have been put in that position, but sometimes you got to freaking score. Y'all know what I mean? Like I said it pregame. Throw the ball to TJ Hawkinson. He threw it to him 4 straight times. So it is what it is. But no, that was terrible. I'm with you. It was disgusting to watch them do that. But Luke, what's your thoughts on the offensive and defensive play calling?
Again, it was much of the same. It was a lot of like there were moments in the game where I was happy about the play calling, and there was moments in the game where I was like, "What the hell is that?" Like you on the goal line with them running backs, they can't stop the run. You got Adrian freaking Peterson, Carry-On, and Incredible Hulk all in the backfield, and you threw the ball 4 straight times. 4 straight times. Okay, thank God you got a touchdown. All right, cool. Let's go to another play. Ooh. They had a nice run. They had a nice run from Swift, not the 54-yard one. It was another one. It was a little bit like maybe 7 or 8 yards. They called a flag on it. But anyway, it was a holding call that they called on it. They called a flag on it. So instead of them coming back and saying, okay, let's run the ball, they come out and throw a quick pass to the receiver. And I'm like, oh, why are you getting away from what's working? So it was much of the same to me. On the defensive side of the ball, yeah, there were some changes in the defense in terms of getting 4 coming, more pressure, more blitzes, less man, more zone. So I was happy to see those little subtle changes on the defense. But there were some plays on defense, personnel-wise, which still kind of irritates me, where certain downs they're taking players off the field and keep putting freaking Tracy Walker in the box like Tavon Wilson. And I don't get this. Like, why is he not our 1 high safety? Why?
I don't know. They I mean, we already know I was probably the highest on the Duran Harmon signing, but I don't like him. Basically, he took Walker's spot back there, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like I just don't get it. We saw Julian Arcore for a minute.
Before he walked off
for a minute.
For a minute,
I
mean,
he got banged up, so I don't think he came back after that, did he?
I just, listen, I don't remember seeing him afterward. I'm just saying, to me, overall, am I going to kill him on a lot of this stuff? Probably not. Probably not. But it's still work to be done in that play calling and the personnel packages that they're deploying. I just was happy that they was getting everybody involved. You can feel it, like that everybody was getting involved, because one play you'll see Carry-On, next play you'll see AP, next play you'll see TJ. I mean, we even had a few Jesse James sightings. You know, you got Marvin Hall in the mix on a couple of plays. They was utilizing the weapon. So to me, out of that part of it, I'll give them some props. But overall, I feel like it was a lot of the frustration, inconsistent play calling when it came to the game for me.
Well, what you said about using the weapons is what I was alluding to earlier. Like once I feel like Jacksonville like keyed in on what we were doing, they were like, all right, let's switch it up. Start putting Marvin Hall out there, starting putting Agnew out there. And it was very hard to cover. Like, we know the Jags defense is trash, just like ours. Our defense is trash. Don't be fooled. But end of the day, you got to go out there and execute. All right. Let's see. We're going to move on. Make sure you guys in the chat, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. Now this is the next question. Because I think Drew said this, and I honestly don't care no more as long as we have production. Was Matt Patricia calling the defense today? We're gonna start with you right around.
I mean, I don't think so because it worked.
Because it worked. That's a good excuse. That's good because it worked.
I mean, that's my first thought. You know, he said they were going to simplify the defense and, you know, go from, what was it, like 120 different personnel packages or whatever.
121.
That's crazy. That number still makes my head hurt. But, like, I don't even know what they went down to, but they simplified it. It felt like the defense was able to get into a groove. So if he was calling it, good on him. But I don't think he was. I don't see it. I don't see the same defense that we had the first couple of years under Patricia. So I don't think that he was calling it. If he was, it wasn't only on Patricia. Corey Unlin definitely had some influence there.
Okay, what's your thoughts on this, Jim?
I don't know.
There's no way.
To me, if it was Patricia, it wouldn't have worked. I totally agree with right or wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure with his job on the line. I think he would have tried to take over the play calling. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
All right, what's your thoughts on this, Chris?
I can't tell you either. 37 games and we finally see one like very good defensive performance. Maybe we had one. What the fuck? Like you hired this man over Jim Caldwell for this. It took 37 games. I don't think it was him. I think he got ready to get fired. He handed the rights to the defensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator just said, "Let me save your ass real quick." There's just, I don't know. He may have had some influence on him, but I feel like he took a lot of his play calling out of it, which I mean I liked because the last 37 games have been awful. It just didn't feel like a Matt Patricia run defense, I guess. So I don't think he had that much into it.
What's your thoughts on this, Luke?
Matt Patricia has not been calling the defense since the Arizona Cardinals game. He didn't call it that Arizona Cardinals game. He didn't call the defense versus the Saints, and he didn't call the defense today. Matt Patricia is not calling the defense no more, people. Just go back and look at those 3 games and take those 3 games out of our 37. Let's compare those 3 games to his 34. We have been almost 85% man coverage team. The last 3 games, we have been extremely balanced, leaning more towards zone. That is not a Matt Patricia adjustment. I refuse to believe that Tigers like to swap their stripes out for spots to think that they're lappers. I don't buy it. And to me, if you believe that he was calling his defense and want to give him credit for it, kudos to you. Kudos to you. But I believe that he knew that he had to get out of his own way and be more concerned with managing the game than trying to run this defense. Because there's no way in hell we playing this much zone under him when 34 games before that was all man. Man is life, is what he was saying. Your starting DB core is completely out. I don't care. Run man. Hey, that guy in the stand said he could play cornerback. Put him in the game. That's what I'm going to do. What's the coverage? We're going to run man. Now, all of a sudden, in 3 games, he decides, you know what? Maybe zone not so bad. We don't do these type of things. This is not what happens in human behavior, people.
All right.
So,
Right.
No, I'm saying. So as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't calling the plays. There's no way it was him.
Yeah, I saw 4 down linemen. I don't need to say anything else. Like that's all I'm gonna say to that question. We gonna move. I saw 4 down linemen. You do the math. Sports Today says is Green Bay overrated. I'm gonna say even if they win today, yes. With Green Bay, I'm not gonna take nothing away from it. They know how to win football games, even when they're not that good of a team. It is what it is. Let me look at some more of the questions in the chat. Let's see.
Can we talk about how Rodgers is only giving me 1.16 points in fantasy right now?
Hey man, I've been Green Bay in the Pick'em League, and they screwing me over right now. But if they lose, I can't be upset because it's Green Bay. But it's kind of like the Lions today. We lost. I'm not mad. We get rid of Patricia. We win.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
We won. I'm in the same problem right now.
I want to ask a question because I think this question needs to be asked. There's 2 questions I really want to ask, and the first I'm gonna shoot it out there. The first one is this: if you look at the current standings as they present themselves right now, just right now, the current standings in terms of our division, in the league, and so forth and so on. As a Lions fan, do you think you should be concerned that if the Minnesota Vikings keep this dump to fire performance up, that they can be in position to get a guy like Trevor Lawrence?
Oh no!
Oh God, no! Oh.
They have Dalvin.
Wait,
There's no way. They have such a good team.
Look. I wasn't concerned until you said it. Oh my God, no! Please don't do that to us.
I mean, listen. Right now, they're 1-5. They're 1-5. Washington is 1-5. The Giants are 1-5. The Eagles is 1-4. The Chargers is 1-4. I mean, the race is on.
Jags are 1-5. I think the Jags, the Jets, or the Giants are going to get the first pick. But if it was the Vikings, man, I'll be like, draft Mr. Trubisky, bro. the Jets not gonna go 0-16. So I'm just saying, like, if this happens, are you concerned about it? Well, no, because I think the Vikings gonna win at least 5 games.
Okay, all right.
They have a good one. They have a good team.
100% Minnesota was trash all year.
Yeah, you don't think they can win 5 games?
Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins isn't the worst. You look at the Jets, and it's just like, what the fuck do they have? Joe Flacco?
But look at the team we just beat. They're not that good.
Look what Atlanta just did to them.
Yeah,
you tell me how good they are.
Yeah, but I expected Atlanta to do that to them though. So it's about your expectations sometimes.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
You remember when I was on the show before and I said Minnesota is going to be in the basement? Everybody gave me hell for it. Now
you're the only one who said it.
Hang on, didn't they just sign Kirk Cousins to a 2-year deal or something? Wouldn't that be a lot of money?
They did. They gave him the first guaranteed contract. However, there are some provisions and outs in those contracts. So
yeah, but we gonna move on. Sports win today.
Well, I want to ask one more question, and then we can
hold on. We get to that after this one.
Go ahead.
He says if we win the next 5 games, the season back on track.
Yeah.
All right. This is my answer. Take it 1 week at a time, y'all. Let's not do this. Because what did I tell y'all after we beat Arizona? I said we got the Saints next week. Chill out. I'm saying it again. Chill out. But yeah, the season's on track. Maybe, but who knows? Like I can't even look that far ahead. But what's your thoughts on this, Jim?
It just determines if we can keep the lead. I mean, remember the first quarter against the Saints? That was a fun 2 minutes of being 14-0 for a second. I blinked my fucking eyes. I go downstairs to grab myself a drink. God damn, it's 35-14. I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, and it goes back to the question, like, my thoughts on like the offense and defensive play calling. The offensive play calling has been kind of iffy. Like if you remember last year, we were doing trick plays and big plays downfield 24/7. Like Stafford before he got hurt had 2,500 yards and 25 touchdowns on pace for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, something crazy. And now this offense, I mean, we played well against the Jags, but it seems like we're being too safe at times. I feel like if we were versing a real team, we would have been screwed. Because the offense isn't performing as fast.
Well, not if we were running the ball like that. That's the problem with the offense. They don't run the ball, and they don't run it at the right time. They run it at the wrong times, and they don't run it enough. Mm-hmm. But Jim, what's your thoughts on this?
If we win the next 5 games, we're 7-3. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
Come on, it answered it for me.
All right, that's what I have to say.
Oh, go ahead, Luke. What's your next question?
Yeah, the season is not back on. They can win the next 5 games, and the season is not back on track. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Yeah, they win the next 5 games. Yeah, 7 wins. That would be his highest win total of his career as a head coach. So if you consider that back on track, then God bless you. But that's not on track to me. On track to me is this: you have a year where you have to. I'll put it this way: in the next 5 games for the Detroit Lions, just the next 5 games, how many of those games help you in your division? Just in the next 5 games. So to me, if the answer is 1, which is really what it is, then there's a problem. We're not on track, because if you mess around and get the 6th or I'm sorry, even 6 spots, the 7th spot for playoff berth, that's not on track to me. That's not what you want, because now what you're going to be looking at is another year of Matt Patricia and Quinn. And I think most fans don't want that. So to me, on track is doing something that can be sustainable, not getting small participation victories here and there to feel good about it. It needs to be something sustainable. So to me, no, it's not on track.
I ain't gonna lie. 7-3 is only on track if they beat the Bears. If they beat the Bears, then I'm cool, because after all those easy games, first game is the Bears. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we 7-3. I'm not gonna be negative until we start losing. So, all right. Dolo Dynamite says, "What are the chances of one top QB now?" I don't think the chances are that high. So, what do you think about this, Chris?
No, I don't really think there is a chance. Maybe if we lose out, we can draft a high quarterback, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Nah. And y'all shouldn't want a high draft pick. High draft pick does not guarantee you get the right player. Your ability to draft, develop, and nourish their skill set is what determines that.
Yeah, and I'm not with this. You can only draft a good quarterback in the first round stuff. Like, where they do that?
I.e. Russell Wilson.
Dak Prescott. I mean, I know Minshew ain't on a level, but look at Minshew. And that's what I've kept harping home. No, first round, regardless of where we at, you take the best defensive player, and if you want a quarterback that bad, you draft your quarterback, unless your guy's there. But why do fans think we can't draft a great quarterback and not the first round? That's my question. But no, Luke, you had another question before we wrap it up.
My question is this, and this is the one I've been thinking about it because I'm just curious. Does it upset you? Does it upset you to know that the reports were, if the Lions lost this game, they were firing everybody and beginning the process for getting us back on track? Does it upset you knowing that they won the game, delaying that process?
I'll answer it first.
I don't know.
It doesn't upset me only because it would have upset me if they didn't fire everybody. So knowing that they know, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that they know how hot the seat should be. Of course, he should be going already, but you know what I'm saying? They know, no, you're not winning football games. You're out of here. It lets me know if we go 2-5, which is possible, he won't be here. But I said it earlier. If we would have sacrificed the loss today for Patricia, maybe we would have won later on down the road. What's your thoughts on this, Ryder?
I mean, I'm never going to be one of those people that's I want my team to lose. I'm never going to be mad when the Lions win a game, unless it's, week 16 and week 17 and we need to lose. Patricia's first year. If it's the last game of the season and it's between getting Josh Allen or TJ Hawkinson, then maybe I could be okay, we should have lost that game. But 6 weeks into the season, I'm never going to say, I wish we would have lost so we could fire these people. I'm a fan that wants to see my team win, and I'm always going to be happy when they pull out a victory. So, I'm not upset about it. Matt Patricia's time will come. He's still on the hot seat. This did not change anything. This did not save his job. His time's coming. He's going to get fired eventually. So, I'm not too worried about it.
I love that energy. His time is coming. You sounded like somebody you owe something back there. Oh, your time coming, bro. Oh, yeah,
George just lost. George just lost.
You won this week, and you might win next week. But best
Ryder Ryder talking like, yeah, I'm the one to put the contract on him. I know when this day is coming. Don't worry about it.
Hey, that might be what
coming.
Sheila
You can
said. That
see
might
it
be
right
what
there.
Sheila told Matt Patricia. She's like, "Yeah, your time's coming. I swear."
Well, this is what the reports were. The reports were that Sheila told Matt Patricia flat out, "You lose against the Jacksonville Jaguars and you are out." This is what she told Quinn and Matt Patricia. You lose to the Jags, you're all out. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And
Sheila
you
must
know,
be some scary person. Sheila must be one scary person because
Man.
No, but no, she
Slams
did
the
that.
desk.
No, she did
yeah,
that
flipping
before.
chairs and
But it's a rumor that when for the Arizona game, it's a rumor that she pulled up to his house and had the same talk. You lose to Arizona, you out of here, and they keep winning. So
She needs to
I'm gonna
keep
say it
having
must
these
be
talks.
true.
That's
Every
what I
week.
said. Have a talk every game.
on Monday. I swear, if you lose the next game, you're still fired.
but you know what though? Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's about the mandate. She's honoring that mandate. The moment they are completely eliminated from playoff contention, they're fired. And to me, that scares me. That scares me because they should be fired even if they make the playoffs. You fired Jim Caldwell with a winning record at the 2 seasons of a winning, well, 3 seasons really of a winning record. Then damn it, one playoff berth for a guy who sucked for 2. Well, right now we're gonna say 34. 34 games. We're gonna say 34. A guy who sucked that bad, I don't care. Playoff berth is not enough for you to keep your job, in my opinion.
Well, he's only got 14 wins in a row to get to 500 now.
No.
Wow.
Hey,
Let me say something.
Hold on one second. Nomis J in the building with the super chat. Shout out to you, Nom.
Hey.
He said good win, not impressed, but good win. Of course,
same.
It's the Jaguars. But if we didn't dominate this team and it was closer, I would probably be pissed.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
So, Luke, you did say something that made me kind of depressed a while ago. It was one of the questions if the Lions won the next 5 games if the season's back on track. You said that would be 7 and what? 7-3?
7-3.
Matt Patricia's best record. Jim Caldwell's worst record was 7-9, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
That's what hurts to think about. And like, what? They were going to fire everyone if we lost today. Like, that's what happened with Jim Caldwell and Jim Bob Cooter. And then we got Matt Patricia. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go back to rebuilding. I want to keep
I'm about to say, man.
I'm tired of this rebuilding.
A lot of people don't agree, but like if we was gonna be like this, I would be like, I'd rather be mediocre for a few more years and get a great coach instead of a trash one. But it is what it is, man. The great one, Mike, with another super chat, man. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys like the video and drop any more questions you have because we are about to wrap up the show while Green Bay is out here getting cooked on.
Yay!
All right. We're not gonna be upset about that. So
21-10. Holy crap!
Yeah, man. Game not over, but
then Brady haters looking kind of stupid right now.
Hey, I told them they was gonna win. The Bucs was gonna win the division, but we'll see what happens on that.
As long as Brady can figure out what down it is, we'll be okay.
Hey, man.
You know what, though? Listen. Really quick, I want to point this out because it's funny that you brought that up, Jim. If you pay attention, Jamal Williams and a few other players in the Packers were saying that my quarterback will never forget what down it is. And I guarantee you, I'm finna show y'all the difference. This is not a Tom Brady thing. This is a head coach thing. I guarantee you that Bruce Arians took that stuff and put it everywhere his players can see it. Because guess what? When I watched, I believe it was All or Nothing that they was doing on like the Amazon or whatever. And Bruce Arians, he knew all the negative stuff that people were saying. And he was telling the players, such and such said you can't catch. You know, like he was telling them.
He's like posting tweets around like the stadium. They said that about you.
He was telling them in the show, like, they say y'all can't block it. You know what? I'm starting to believe them. And guess what they do? They come up the next game and they perform. They talked all that crap. I guarantee you, if the Bucs can close this out and win this game, they're going to turn around and they're going to say the following. Well, I ain't had to worry about what the 4th down was, but I know what a win is. I'm telling you, it was too much talking. It was.
It was.
I got one more question I want to pop in there. Then you can do what you want to do at this point, JMO. This is one of the ones I thought about. Because I'm always trying to think of something different. When you look at this team, like right now, just looking at it right now today, obviously we got to win. Everybody feels good about the win. But when you look at this team, how do you feel about us going forward? In other words, in terms of like, is this the turning point, or do you feel like this is just nothing more than a win against a mediocre team?
Hold on, I'm gonna answer this first. Simply, I'm going week by week, y'all. I'm serious. I'm going week by week. I can't look into the future when my heart's been smashed to a million pieces too many times. Like, I have to go week by week. Like, if they win the next 4 games, yeah, I'll be confident. But I had to go week by week. I expected us to, win the day, and they surprised me by actually doing it. But and I see Dolo says, "Do we want to trade for Sam Darnold?" Hell no. I don't want to trade. I don't want any of these young trash quarterbacks that y'all want. But Jim, what's your thoughts about that question?
I don't think we played a mediocre team. I think we played a terrible team with a lot of their pieces missing, on defense especially. I mean, they had people going out during the game even. I don't know. I don't think we're much better than what we were. I don't. I think the intensity was better. I think a lot of the offense was better. But is that because we played a terrible defense? We don't know. So we'll see when we play a real team next.
It's gonna be a while before you play a real team. Dude.
Well, true. Atlanta just put up some points, so
I mean, Atlanta's Atlanta though,
and beat that all-star Minnesota team.
We know what Atlanta can do. They can score, win or lose. Chris, what's your thoughts?
So yeah, this is not a turning point. Like, I'm clapping my hands, but I'm still staring down Matt Patricia like, So let's see what happens next week and the week after. And the week after, it's just like, yeah, this is nice, but if you lose next week, your ass is fired.
Exactly.
Like, I ain't seeing you. Get the fuck out. I'm shaving your beard in your sleep. I'm slapping you across the face, and I'm sending you out. Go for a walk.
If you lose next week, you're out. you say until he get a winning record, no matter what he do, one loss. And you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point that we got to talk about on the round table. Is Matt Patricia on a one-loss mandate right now? Like, one loss the rest of the way, you're out.
You're out, honestly.
Like, that's crazy.
That's funny. So, Ryder, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I got to see more. I know people are saying, "Oh, this Jacksonville team's horrible." I mean, the Lions didn't. Thanks, Jim. I mean, yeah, this Jags team isn't good. By no means am I saying that, but I mean, it's not like the Lions were all 100% healthy. I mean, they played with 8 offensive linemen. They played with 8 different offensive linemen throughout the game. I mean, they had arguably not as much controversy as the Jaguars, but they had some injuries. They had some players, go down with dehydration and, some stuff like that. So I think this team fought through some adversity today. I think they played very well. They dominated a team they absolutely should have dominated. And I'm not going to say this is the turning point in the season, but if there was going to be a turning point, if the season does turn around, I mean, I think you can look at this game and say, this is the game we got pressure. This is the game we got aggressive. This is the game that we hit harder. This is the game that we played harder. This is the game that we didn't make as many mental lapses. Like, I'm not going to say it is the turning point yet because I still got to see next week. But if we start playing well next week and maybe even the week after, you could definitely look at this game and say this was the point of the season where
we should rewind. We should rewind that Arizona game because we probably said the same thing then.
Hey, like I said, you got to wait and see.
After the Arizona game, though, nobody was really saying much. But no, Ryder, I would say this: if we get it back on track, you know what I'm gonna say about the Jaguars game? This is the game we played the Jaguars. Know what I'm gonna say about Atlanta? This is the game where we played Atlanta. Now we beat the Colts. This is where we turned it around because we beat a Colts team that was 500. That's what I'm gonna say.
Right there, you go.
It's all good. Luke, what's your personal opinion on your own question, man?
To me, I don't think it's a turning point. I think we played the right team at the right time to build up confidence. You had a bye week. You needed how before a boxer get to go and take on the champ, he got to work his way through the circuit. He take on a bunch of amateur or exhibition fights, and then he build up his record and his confidence, and then he started making this big talk to be like, yeah, I'm gonna knock Floyd Mayweather out. And I think that's what you see with the Lions. This is one of them games where it's like, yeah, you needed this win. This is one of them games you should have won and you should have beat them. And you did, and that's good. It's good for confidence. But turning point, nah. The turning point to me come way past the Colts, in my opinion, way past, because you have to, because that would mean that you're hitting a consistent stride. You know, everybody has said that this is the easy part of the schedule, even though I disagree. But you know, if you're winning these games because this is the easier part of the schedule, then yeah, that is a turning point, because guess what? The consistency of you doing it back to back to back is huge.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you said there's no easy part of the schedule because we the easy part of the schedule, but compared to the rest of the schedule, these teams are just not as good as we like. Because like in November, December, like last 6 weeks, Bears, Packers, Bucks, you're gonna face a good Tennessee team. So to me, that's where they'll show me if there's something or not. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap the show up. Shout out to all my Lions fans. They got a win for you. Shout out to all my Patricia haters. I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
I feel bad for me too, because it's not like I want him here. But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna be.
We just have to deal with them.
Upset with a team that wins. I'm never gonna be. I'm never gonna be upset about winning a football game ever. All right, so we'll do final thoughts now. We got Chris King in the building, Mr. K2. Make sure you plug yourself. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. This has been fun. I can't wait to do it again sometime. Final thoughts. There was the Jaguars. Until we win a team, until we beat a team where we can go ahead and go, wow, we shouldn't have won that game, or we beat a really good team. I don't feel a turning point happening. If you imagine if we lost today, how pissed off all of us would be.
Wait, let me ask you this. So if Arizona wins and they're 4-2, all of a sudden everything is roses and peaches now?
No, far from that. And the thing with the Lions is the most interesting thing is we've had the lead against these guys double digits too. And it's just what if we just maintain that? We can beat any team if we can just go up double digits and just maintain it. And that's the problem. We can't maintain it at all until I see us actually consistently doing it. I don't feel confident in the team, but I'm just happy with the win today.
Yeah, we got Bravo in the chat. What's good, Bravo, the resident? I call him the new Lions fan, and only because I feel bad for him. No Lions fan would ever want to start being a Lions fan coming into Matt Patricia's regime. That's not good. His first Lions game was probably the Jets game, which is a nightmare on every level. But shout out, thanks for the super chat. Who wants to fire Patricia? We all still want to fire him. I don't think anybody's changed about that. All right, Ryder, what's your final thoughts, man?
I mean, this was a good win for the Detroit Lions. They came into a game where they should have dominated, and that's what they did. They were better in every facet of the game as they should have been, but this is still the Jaguars. They're a 1-5 team for a reason. I'm not convinced yet that this is their turning point. I'm not convinced yet that this team is going to make any noise, but today was a good win. I'm happy we won. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to wake up with a smile on my face tomorrow, but there's still things the Lions got to work on, and I'm not convinced that we're going to be a winning franchise just yet.
Hey, as I said, Ryder, that Lions win sleep hit good, but that Matt Patricia fire sleep, whoa, that hit way different. Feel like an NBA championship. You feel like a Lakers fan waking up. But all right, man. Jim, what's your final thoughts, man?
You know what? I'm happy with the win this week. Hey guys, you know what happens if we win next week? That's called a winning streak. I know you haven't seen that in a while. That is called a winning streak.
What does that mean? Yeah, what is that? Can you explain?
It's when you win more than one game in a row without losing.
You can do that.
That's possible.
It is possible. Well, if we win next week, that's what happens. I'm just letting you know.
If we win next week, I think that's his first. I think that's his first. Isn't that his first back-to-back games that he's won if we win next week?
I don't know. Is
no, because in year one they won a couple back-to-back. I'm pretty sure.
No, they
we did. We beat New England and Miami back-to-back. I think.
Yeah, weren't we 3-1 that year, and we ended 6-10?
No, we wasn't 3-1. We started off at 1-3.
Yeah, and then we went to 3-3, and then we lost to the Seahawks, and it all kind of.
We've done. We went off the rails. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the chat today. Really appreciate you rocking with us today. Thank you for everybody on the panel also with us. I had a wonderful time. And thanks, everybody. Stay safe. And let's look forward to hopefully a winning streak.
Well, okay. All right, guys. As always, man, sign Kenny Galladay. I don't think. I mean, we seeing what he's doing. Even when he's not catching the ball, people are out here like, just like caressing him. Like Kenny Galladay. I mean, they treating Kenny Galladay like he a girlfriend or something because they want to take him everywhere. Like, look, I just want to hold you here and hold you there and hold you here and hold you there. So
that's what Jacksonville is doing too.
Man, it's like they wouldn't let Kenny go. I'm like, bro, just play defense.
They were holding up for dear life.
They really were.
Kenny Galladay is like that last life jacket in a sinking boat, just trying to hang on to it.
I definitely feel if we see more of DeAndre Swift, this team is going to be, and Swift stays the course, because that's the main thing. Then this team is going to be good. To me, if we keep the same game plan as today and we're able to execute, we'll keep winning football games. That literally means our defense has to consistently play good. Oh, boy. But we'll continue to win football games if we run that football like we did, use play action, and play good enough defense. Good win for the Lions. They went out, dominated the Jaguars. They should have. I really didn't think we were going to dominate the Jags. I thought it was going to be another, last-second win, so I'm glad they at least did what they're supposed to do for one game, but it's only one game, y'all. Next week, we could easily lose. We could easily win. Who knows? But, Matt, Patricia, you're saved for another game. Go cry to your family. We'll see what happens next week, because I feel like I'm with you, Chris. Sheila is like week by week until you over 500. But,
sorry to interrupt, but Rom Gronkowski just scored a touchdown. It's 28-10 against the Packers now.
Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw that, bro. Like, pick 'em league. It's a wrap. I just got.
I got Rodgers starting at quarterback, man.
You know what pissed me off about that though is I'm like, why is everybody picking the Packers? I'm like, the Bucs are gonna beat this win. And then I saw Devontae Adams was healthy. I'm like, they definitely gonna win. And then I saw Chris Godwin was healthy, so I switched it back. And then I just went back to the Packers like an idiot. I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyway, that's pick 'em league stuff, y'all. Y'all know how it is. But all right, Luke. Final thoughts, man.
Hey, listen, again, Chris, appreciate you for coming on. We definitely gonna get you back on again. As you know, I am definitely one of your subscribers, so I do keep up with what's going on over there. Make sure that y'all definitely subscribe to his channel, man. You do not want to miss out. I mean, he makes some very good highlights. And he comes up now. He's taking it to the next level, people. So again, shout out to you for coming on. Shout out to the panel for being here. Absolutely. Listen, y'all know I like to end shows on positive notes. And this has been a rough week for a few members of the DSA, and pretty much, frankly, just a crappy last couple of months for many of the DSA members. And we've found a way to push through it and get it done. And so today's positive quote comes from somebody that, don't y'all judge me, but I do like her music, which is one Miss Dolly Parton. She says, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. And this brings me to the point of loss. This week, I've had two deaths in the family in one day. I know that some other members have had some loss in their family as well. There's somebody in here listening to this chat that has had loss themselves. And I wanted you to be reminded that it is not about the loss, but what you can do in the loss and what they want you to do in the loss. I find myself looking at this term self-care, and in self-care, I have to be willing to understand that what I lost will want me to take care of myself. It's funny how we get off the phone and we say things to each other like, take care, see you later, or goodbye. But we never really take a second to think that when we say those things, we're saying those things with the expectations that you're going to come back to the conversation the next time in good spirits. You cannot direct the wind. You certainly don't have any power over that. But you can certainly adjust the sails. And those sails is your emotions and your ability to accept what has happened and do what those people you have lost have asked you to do. Just be all right until next time and until that next conversation. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to all the members of the DSA. Check out the K2 channel. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.
Yep. Lions get a win. Hey guys, keep it up, or the whole team's gonna get blown up. Don't y'all know that? But all right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody coming through. And